Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the podcast mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast.
Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Better, the podcast mogul, and today we have a guest whose expertise in beauty and entrepreneurship will leave you both inspired and enlightening, and probably looking a little better. Our guest today is a celebrity hair and makeup artist with a career that spans over 2 decades. Based in the San Francisco Bay Area, she has worked with major television networks, A-list celebrities, top designers, and big-name brands, just naming a few, to make her look like a true powerhouse in the beauty industry. Not only has she perfected the art of making her clients look stunning on the outside, but she also believes in empowering them to feel their best version of themselves on the inside, a core tenet here at the podcast. In addition to her impressive career as a makeup artist, our guest is the founder and CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup, a cosmetic line that celebrates everything it means to be a girl, fun, excitement, and glamour included. Her products, known for their high-quality ingredients and luxurious textures, have become a staple for those who want to look both stylish and feel confidence. But her talents don't stop there. She also is a philanthropist, sepsis-aware advocate, grief expert, and beauty expert on NBC CA Live. Through her blog, Love, Life, Laugh, and Lip Gloss, and contributes to various magazines, podcasts, and blogs, where she shares her wealth of knowledge and beauty tips with a wide audience. Today, she's here to share her journey from makeup artist to entrepreneur, her passion for beauty and fashion, and how she built a brand that's all about helping people look good and feel beautiful. So get ready to be inspired by a true visionary in the beauty world. It's my pleasure to welcome the incredible Christina Flach to Invest in Yourself. Christina, thank you so much for being here.
Wow, isn't that nice? Thank you so much for having me. My goodness.
You're very welcome. As my audience knows, I love hyping up my guests to the nth degree because you guys are amazing at what you do and you deserve to be celebrated as entrepreneurs. Coming on, the toughest podcast interview there is in the world, where it's not really, but I love having amazing people like you come on, and I owe it to you to give you an intro that's worthy of you guys.
Well, thank you so much. How's your day going?
My day is going fabulous. I have interviews aplenty today, so I get to talk to as many people as I love, and that's one of my pleasures, learning about people like yourself, Christina. So we're going to jump off the deep end with the first question. Why? Why did you decide to transition from, the safe career of working for someone else into the crazy world that is entrepreneurship?
Well, I think because I was a mother of 5, it was nice being able to kind of control my schedule, being a makeup artist, and having my own company. I could work from home and work, whatever hours that I could fit in when my children were little. It was really important to me to be able to be at pickup as often as I could, help in the class, drive on field trips, and, be there for my children. So that was probably the main reason, on top of there's just something in my blood that it's there. And I think it comes from my grandfathers. One of my grandfathers was a doctor, was a heart surgeon, and my other grandfather owned, super like neighborhood supermarkets. So I think it stems from them.
Yeah, I can see how they could have that entrepreneurial spirit that can inspire a young girl to become a boss herself in the entrepreneurial world. I love the fact that before you jumped into the world of entrepreneurship, you knew that it was going to be beneficial for your family because that was something that was core to you. So we're going to kind of jump a bit further into the future here. Do you believe that the reason why you started becoming an entrepreneur, being there for your family, is one of the core reasons why you give back to helping people feel the best version of themselves, because you were able to do that with your kids.
Yes, but I also think that I feel that it's our obligation and responsibility to give back. We don't get to receive all these incredible blessings without sharing them with others. And I think it's important to me that my children that are very blessed, that they see that it's important to give back and to help people that are less fortunate. So I think it's a twofold. I think it's a few reasons why I do it. I think that also I have had some bumps in my road personally. My son, Bo, passed away when he was 4 months old, and my husband passed away 6 years ago. And so I don't want either of them to be forgotten. And so that is where the philanthropic portion of my life comes from. I feel that children, need to have good nutrition and good education. Those are both very important to me. And so I helped start a garden at a school, the Edna McGuire School in Mill Valley, California. And it was named after my son, Bo. And I have the Baby Bo Fund at the Northern Light School. It's a private school for underprivileged children in Oakland, California. And I have the Ken Flach Educational Fund there set up there as well. So I feel that my husband was a former #1 tennis player in the world. And I felt that, we got so many perks with him being who he was, going to tournaments and, special treatment. And it's like, well, you don't just get to receive those things without giving back to others. It's important. So you can't just use it all for selfish reasons. So it makes me also feel good to help others when I'm struggling with, at the time, difficulty, dealing with grief. It helped me definitely get through the hardest part of grieving, being able to help others.
I love that. And it's such a deep reason. It gives you that legacy as well. And you continue the legacy of both your son and your husband in educating, and something that was important to them, obviously, and a very core reason to you. And I love that, teaching to your children to give back from the blessings that you're able to have from the life you lived. When did you decide to start your own beauty line? Because that's a huge step in an entrepreneurial life. It goes from using other people's products, helping people, make them feel beautiful on the inside, tell them what products, and then going, you know what, we're going to make our own products, and then going through all that whole bunch of fun rigmarole. What made you decide to go down that route?
Well, first of all, I think I was very naive when I started. So let's start with that. I didn't think it was any big deal. I'm like, I'll be able to whip this out in an afternoon. And then, 12 months later, we're still, messing around with the beauty chemist, trying to formulate the texture and the colors and the packaging and everything else. You're not just handed a CEO manual when you start. I didn't even know what CEO was when I started. No idea about anything. It's just little by little you start. And I think it's super important for any entrepreneur when they're starting to go into it for the right reasons. I thought, I'm going to create a lip gloss because I was in a constant fight with my water bottle and my lip gloss, and I was losing every time. And so I thought, well, how hard can it be to make your own lip gloss? Because everyone I tried was either it didn't last, or it was drying and matte, and it irritated my lips. So I just thought, it can't be that hard. So my friend and client, Tyler Florence, he's a celebrity chef, always says, ignorance is bliss, because if you knew how goddamn hard it was to do anything, no one would do anything. So it's actually true. But I also I have to be honest, I enjoyed the whole process. It was fascinating to me to be working with this chemist and, figuring out what natural ingredients and what oils are good for the skin and anti-aging and hydrating and moisturizing. So I think if you're going to go and become an entrepreneur, you really have to go into it and love what you're doing very much, because it's going to take much more time, effort, and money than you can ever imagine. And if you don't love it, you are going to resent it. And that is when failure comes in. And I don't care for the word failure, except in that instance. I think the only failure is not executing. And I think trying is another word I like to omit. Trying gives you wiggle room to get out. oh, well, I tried. Not really. I mean, if you really decide you're going to do something and set a goal, you will do it. So I think that, yes, it was challenging, but it was so much fun. And I found it fascinating. And I still continue to find it fascinating. In fact, I started a new brand called I'm Too Busy. It's skincare, makeup. And I also am a host of I'm Too Busy TV, which is every Wednesday.
Jesus, Murphy lady, you're just piling on the work for yourself, evolving to the next version of yourselves, your next self, and I love it because you like you said, if you're not doing, you're failing, if you will. You're moving forward in life, trying to become the best version of yourself. And I also try and omit the word try from my lexicon, because I feel that, again, like you, it gives you that wiggle room to accept the failure when a failure is your first attempt in learning, and fail in life.
It's
So
true.
you're always moving forward. And ignorance is very bliss. Like everything you just said are resonating facts. If I knew how hard it was to be a business owner or a podcaster, I would never have started. I
No.
went down the road too quickly before, and you're halfway down, and you're like, I have to continue.
Yeah, and it's like too far. But I think another thing I learned, in the last few years is getting comfortable being uncomfortable. My friend Berlin Fisher, who is my TV husband on California Live, he asked me to, host, segments to become a beauty expert on NBC. And I thought, oh my God, hell no. Like, are you crazy? I'm not doing live TV. I'm a makeup artist for a reason. I like being behind the camera. I do not want to be in front of the camera. And I was terrified. And he just said, what are you talking about? This is everything you know. You don't even have to think. It's just going to come out. And he was right. And it also gave me so much confidence in myself that I did not even know that I possessed. I did not realize that I could become comfortable in front of the camera. And doing all these podcasts in the last 6 years has helped considerably with my comfort. Live TV is still terrifying. And, right before, I go on every week, I'm just like, it's adrenaline rush and it's exciting and it's so fun. I mean, this is something you do every day. You interview people and it's fascinating. I am fascinated finding out what makes people tick and what they do. Why are they too busy? How do they have balance in their life? What excites them? And, I know a lot. That's one of the gifts with purchase of my other job of being a makeup artist is I meet incredible people all the time. And so I just want to share these stories with some of my clients and people that I know. So it's a lot of fun. It was certainly not something I ever expected to do. But I'm doing it. So
I love it. I love that go-getter attitude because we need more of that in the world. And you're certainly talking to a whole bunch of young girls and young ladies who are listening, going, if she can do it as a makeup artist, I definitely can do it. And if I put in the work and look forward to.
Yeah, then that is the key word, work. It is a lot of work. It sounds so when people hear, oh, she's a celebrity makeup artist, that's so glamorous. Not really. I mean, there are moments that are very glamorous and fun, but I wake up very early. I have to travel away from home sometimes. It's long hours on your feet. You are definitely taking care of your, for me, I take care of my clients all day. I make sure that they have water, they have food. I make sure that they look flawless all the time. If they want quiet, I keep things quiet. I take care of them. And so it is, I love it. I would not want to do anything else because I like to be somewhere different all the time. I love meeting new people and creating beautiful things. So it's a perfect job for me, but it's a job and it is hard work. And if you don't like, and it's also an erratic job. It's not a job that you do 5 days a week. Some days it's weekends. Some days you don't work. You work once a week, twice a week. Some days it's 5 days a week. It just depends. But you have to be comfortable with something that is not a consistent job. And I am successful at it. And I still am like, there's weeks that I'll work a lot and then there's weeks that I don't. But then I have other things. I have my company to run. I do podcasts, I have my TV show, or I'll have NBC. So I write for, magazines. So I constantly have something, but it's definitely, you need to be disciplined. You need to be focused. And you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with keeping your portfolio up, making sure that the social media goes up. Even though I have help with that, I have 2 assistants that help me, but it's still, I have to kind of keep an eye on things. So it's a lot, but I enjoy it. And I love that I have an office in my home that I can do, interviews, I can, write, I can, have meetings and things. And, then it's fun when I go out and do a photo shoot. Last week, I did a Christmas catalog for Williams-Sonoma and with Jeffrey Latham, and he's a celebrity florist, and that was so much fun. And then the next day I did 2 ex-Playboy bunnies for a TV show for Hulu. So I mean,
very, very.
Tomorrow I'm going to be at Gap in San Francisco with another celebrity, with a designer. I can't say, but it's going to be good. And so there's a lot of it's fun. It is fun.
I am uber jealous because I'm pretty sure, like most of our listeners, we always look up to those celebrity styles, the life they are living, and you by proxy are living those lives. You're getting to experience it and getting paid to experience it as well. Like you have this opportunity with the Gap, doing the makeup for the ex-Playboy bunnies, where you get to chat with them and see what that life is like.
Oh, so fun.
Even though you're like, that's not my life, but I want to hear about that life.
I'm so nosy. Are you kidding? I want to hear everything. I'm like,
I bet the tea that you could drop would change your day.
And I would never work again. So, but I put my little Oprah hat on and I just sit and go, so tell me your story. I want to hear everything. So
I love it.
And it's so funny because people trust me because I don't spill the beans on them. So they feel comfortable, and not that they know that, they can feel that from me. I'm not someone that probes so much that, I'm asking, inappropriate questions. I let them kind of tell me what they feel like saying. And, when you spend an entire day with someone, it's like being at camp. You just really get to know them quickly and pretty deeply, in a very short period of time. So it's the best. I love it so much.
I love it. And I can feel that kinship of getting to people's, not necessarily getting those deep, dark secrets, but getting the secrets that are fun to talk about. That's one of the joys I get talking with someone like you. And you've been dropping golden nuggets this whole day. I just feel like I'm just following like a little Hansel and Gretel here.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
With the kindness and how you're sharing your advice to the people in the future, and how they're able to, if they're thinking about it, they can take exactly what you're saying and bring it into their workplace. I do want to touch on something because it's very interesting, because you get to meet a lot of celebrities, right? These are people that are living this other life that most regular everyday people, Mr. and Mrs. Jane Doe, don't get to have. When you stepped into that world, how did you deal with kind of like the imposter syndrome? Because it is kind of a different level of a lifestyle. So how did you get around to acting like, hey, they're one of the group, or I'm one of the group?
Well, I never think that I'm one of them. I just think I'm blessed to be there. And I'm confident in my skills as a makeup artist. So I feel like, okay, I earned this. I worked really hard for a lot of years. I didn't just, become a makeup artist and have celebrities. That took a lot of years and a lot of work. Doing jobs that I didn't get paid very much or at all. And so I've hustled to get where I am. And so my portfolio, if you go to ChristinaFlach.com and you go to my client section, it's quite extensive. My client list, that I've had over the years, different CEOs, different athletes, different musicians, different actors, models, different fashion houses. So I'm really proud of the hard work that I've put in, and to look and see all these different clients. And, it's exciting there's been instances where I'm at an airport and I'm going by a magazine stand, and wow, there's my clients, there's my work on the cover or in the magazine. So it's exciting, it feels really good. And I know that I'm really good at what I do. And I am a good makeup artist. I do have good makeup skills, but I also know how to make people feel good on the inside. And so I think it probably helps that I've had so many children. I have 5 children. And so, it definitely helps that I know how to take care of people. And it's just kind of in my nature to make people feel good. But I also, I speak a lot about beauty from the inside out. And what that means is like when I'm on NBC or I'm on, talking about different beauty tips, it's not just about the makeup. It's about taking care of your skin. It's about getting rest, exercise. What you eat and drink and put into your body affects how you look considerably. The sun, protecting your skin from, sun. You need sunscreen every day. You need to wear a hat. You need to protect your skin. And so when I talk about feeling good, it really is about all the different things that you need to do to be healthy, happy, and balanced. Rest is so huge and people typically don't get enough of it.
I love this. That was amazing. I love it. I could end the episode here, and if you're $1 million for sure, Christina, because you have not only you've given advice both for practical advice for people listening to make their skins feel better, but also to take a look deeper when they want to become that entrepreneur, to have that empathy inside yourself so that you can connect, because pretty much the way you connected has been empathetically with your clients to make them feel better, because you understand what they need to help them get to that level to feel like it. Was that obviously being a mother that helps, because 5 kids that allows you to handle the chaos of working up and down with hours, and that's incredible. Plus, dealing with all the fun little attitudes and personalities that kids can have, and especially 5 of them in a row. Jeez, you amaze me. I have a nephew, and that's enough of a personality. So I don't know how you did it with 5. I'm amazed my mother did it with 3. With 3 people who are vastly different children. I can tell you that. I want to touch on, with being someone who seems to be Superwoman or Wonder Woman at least, because what you've done is with 5 kids. Like my mind's blown.
Don't be that impressed. Honestly, my kids are amazing. I did put a lot of work into my kids, but they're grown up now. So I have a lot more time to do all these things that I never had time to do before. There was no way when they were little that I would have my own show, be able to travel as much as I do now with clients. It just would never have happened. So, when I say, yes, I have 5 kids, I do, but they're not at home. I have one at home part of the time now. So
You're looking at the clock.
I've got a ton of time. I'm like, no, are you kidding? I'm going to die when he goes to college. I've had 4 kids, I've had 3 of my kids go to college so far. Okay. Yeah. 3. And the 4th is going, and it doesn't get easier. I cry my guts out and I'm like, don't go, I'll homeschool you. Even though I know I'm for sure I can't do past 4th grade math. I'm convinced of it. So I don't know how I think I'm going to homeschool these, kids that are going to go get these degrees, but I offer it and I get turned down with each child. So with my, my youngest, I know he's just like, the other day I said, oh my God, he just decided he's a golfer and he's playing Division I golf and he's going to San Jose State in the fall. And I'm just like, oh my God, well, when I drive you to school and he's like, no, I'm going to go by myself. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to go there and I'm going to cry my gut because that's what we do.
That's a mother's duty for that. It's pretty much the last job before you kind of retire from a full-time mom, become a part-time mom.
I'm a concierge mom now. I'm like, Mom, I need a plane ticket. Oh, Mommy, you need, so now I'm a concierge.
I like that. I like that update into a concierge mom. But with becoming, to be fair, you raised 3 kids while you were doing your makeup artist skills, becoming the celebrity makeup artist. So like, that's still chaotic. Now that
it was, but I also had,
your husband had
nannies.
You had help. I'm curious, how did you, juggling everything, how did you find time to invest in yourself, and what did that look like? Because right now there could be someone, a mom right now, looking to be inspired by your story and start their little empire that they had dreamed of. So how did you invest in yourself during that chaotic time?
I love this question because I think it's super important. Self-care is not selfish. Okay. Let's start with that. I cannot stand these moms that are martyrs that are like, oh, I have to make cookies. I have to do this. No, you don't have to do that. Go buy the cookies and go for a run or go work out. I think it's super important to set an example for your kids on how you take care of yourself, because if you want your kids to have healthy, happy lives, they need to see that in you. So they need to see you in healthy, happy relationships. They need to see you in making healthy choices, doing, they see everything. Okay. They watch everything. So it takes some discipline, and it takes some, sometimes you have to wake up a little bit earlier. It's consistency. For me, working out is, I can't function without yoga, Pilates, going for a hike, playing golf, something. This morning I went on a hike / run before, our interview today. I need to do that just to be the best version of me. And I think I also plan ahead with like keeping hydrated. I make sure I have my water. When I go on set, there's temptations of all this amazing food, besides the fact that I work with a ton of celebrity chefs. So there's always food around. And of course, when they hand me a bite of something, I'm going to have a bite of it. But I really am disciplined with my green juice, which is actually swamp juice, that I make it. I make it and put it in mason jars, so it's always ready. I think if you prepare food, chop up fruit, vegetables, have some raw almonds. I keep them in the car when I'm like in traffic and I want to murder someone because I'm so hungry. I have a snack. So I think it's important, to be healthy, make healthy food choices if you're prepare a little bit ahead of time. So if you do all these things, you will eat healthy. You'll be hydrated. If you get in a habit, I did an episode on California Live on this about water. People complain, oh, I hate the way water tastes. I forget, all these excuses. Okay, get the mason jars or get your water bottles. Have them ready. Do it in the morning or do it the night before. Throw in a little slice of lemon or orange or some blueberry, any fruit that tastes good, or put in a tea bag of, mint tea, chamomile, whatever. A green tea, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, it's all healthy stuff. So if you do all these things, every time you get in the car, you grab a bottle of water, you don't even need to think about how much water you drink in a day because it's done. And the best part of that, scheduling, even if you can do a 10-minute walk or a run or do sit-ups, push-ups, some yoga, it's the consistency. You don't need to do like, oh, I need 2 hours at the gym. No, you don't. Take 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever you can do, and do it. And then that way, all that angst and guilt is gone. I don't want to be even thinking about, oh God, I got to go work out. Oh God, I need to eat better. Oh God, I need water. No, it's just done. So I can focus on doing these other interesting things because I'm not wasting time beating the shit out of myself thinking of all the things I did not do.
I love it. And a little secret to everybody, I drink water. I don't drink coffee. I have water in this glass, and that's what I make. And it helps because I'm talking with someone, and when I need to shut up, I take a sip and let the guest speak. And I get hydrated. It's a win-win for everybody.
And it's a gift with purchase. It's the best. Mm-hmm. So it's, all these things help to make you be the best version of you. And that's what I, want to teach people about being the best version of themselves. It's not about piling on the makeup. It's about feeling good on the inside. Laugh, smile. If you're tired, take a little break, go for a walk, take a nap for 10 minutes, turn on a meditation app and close your eyes. The better you feel, you're a better version of you, and the world's going to receive a better version of you. So take care of you.
I love it. You're killing me over here, Christina, with all this amazing advice. Like I am thoroughly going to be like reading the transcript at least 3 times for all the advice. You are a professional, and it shows from your years of being celebrity adjacent, if you will, and having your own show. You're a fantastic guest, and I'm sad to say that our time is coming to an end, but I'm gonna hit you with our last question here. Yeah. And I think you're gonna just blow it out of the water since you have.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm not, I am far from nervous. I am excited because I would love to know, because I have your 10-year-old self right beside me. She's amazing. She's looking at you with eyes ablaze at the amazingness that she has become. But what advice you would love to pass back to your 10-year-old self?
That's super easy. dream bigger than you can ever imagine. Dream so big that you're terrified and uncomfortable, and then go for it. I say yes to everything now. Like before, I would be scared. I'd be like, oh, I can't do that. I'm uncomfortable. And now I know that uncomfortable, I don't want to do that, is exciting. And a great thing is going to happen from that. If I hadn't said yes to NBC to be on California Live, I would never have had my own show on I'm Too Busy. I would never have done any of these things. So, and I don't say no. Here's another good thing. When I have 3 agents. When they call, I always say yes. And it doesn't always mean I'm going to get paid the most, but sometimes, like I did makeup and hair for Rita Moreno for People magazine. Magazines don't pay very well, but I don't care because my work is in a magazine. So, and sometimes I don't get paid at all for them, but I, again, don't care because I get to have a Rita Moreno or a Hilary Swank or, someone amazing. So it's not always about the money. It's about, and I truly mean this, it is about the work, because I get so much pleasure in creating beautiful things that I will sometimes do testing with other photographers and models and stylists, because I can totally express myself artistically without the constraints of, a company that don't want me to do something like that. So do what brings you joy, and then figure out how to get paid. And I truly believe you will have a beautiful life.
Again, you're killing me.
Oh my God.
Christina, I'm like just mesmerized by the advice you've dropped so far. And I am thoroughly looking forward to having you on the podcast again, because you are a fantastic guest.
Oh, thank you so much.
We'll probably touch more on makeup and skincare so that I can level up mine. But I'm going to jump off stage here. Please let my audience know where they can follow you in the meantime, how they can connect with you, work with you, whatever they're looking for in their life, Christina. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. You can go to ChristinaFlach.com. I'm TooBusyTV.com, PrettyGirlMakeup.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. So thank you so much for having me. Also, we're offering a 25% discount on PrettyGirlMakeup.com. Discount for Pretty Girl.
I love it. Even better. Listen, Christina, thank you so much.
Thank you. Such a joy. So much fun chatting with you.
Oh, the pleasure. Yes, my favorite cousin out west. It's an absolute pleasure chatting with you. I'm looking forward to talking with you again and staying
anytime. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. To my audience, make sure you check out the show notes down below to connect with Christina and get access to that bonus over at Pretty Girl Makeup. I thank you so much for listening, and as always, remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.